Hey, this is Will 90. We're back with another podcast all about nothing. And today we are here at Fulton Street Collective. It's an art collective, and we are here with Chris. Chris, welcome to All About Nothing. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me.
Good. So tell me about the art collective you have here.
Well, I'm the operations manager for the Fulton Street Collective, which has been around since started in 2002 by Joe Lanassa and Anna Furman. And Anna became a pretty famous rock and roller in Chicago and slowly faded out, but is still very much a part of our community. And really, Joe is our financial angel, if you will.
Yeah.
I was approached by Joe back in 2012 to be an operations manager here, and at the time I was the manager of a jazz club called the Green Mill, and also playing music myself, and just very busy. Like, well, kind of have my hands in a lot of pots here. And then the more I started thinking about it and getting to know Joe, I said, I have an idea for a performance that we could try and see what happens, where jazz musicians would perform a classic jazz record, a Coltrane record or a Miles Davis record, and we called it the Jazz Record Art Collective. And what happens is the band will perform the record, and then an artist will be set somewhere in the room, will sketch and paint the band as they perform.
Really?
And then at the end of the show, they sell their work.
Okay.
And the first one we did was the Neil Alger Quartet, and it was a massive rainstorm. The power went out. And it was just like, and 4 people showed up. Like, well, can't. There's only one way to go, and that's up. And, and I stuck with it, and then it just started to grow. And it wasn't until Dave Rempis performed a Jackie McLean record, Action, 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 where he took the platform to really talk about the record and the making of it, and what was going on in the time, and the history of the album. And then and at first I was like, what are you doing? Just play it. And then I watched the audience just become really engrossed in his narrative and talking about the record. And then it really started to get ahead of steam. And so I equate that series as the audience is taking a 1-hour crash course in a jazz record.
Okay. So the Green Mill. Mm-hmm. I love the Green Mill.
Yes,
and it's still around.
It's still around, yeah.
So how long did you work there for?
I was a manager for 12 years.
Okay, all right.
And it was great. Perks were great. Money was great. Hours were not great.
Right, exactly. Get started late.
When you're single and in your 30s, it's the best. When you're married with kids in your 40s, not so good. So
tell me, where did you guys move from? Because you're in a new area here.
Well, so I jumped on board in 2013, and there was this kind of shift where I started doing more here, becoming more involved with the collective and less involved with Green Mill. And then I, put all my eggs in this basket and really wanted to create a music program, a jazz program here, but also give artists more of an opportunity to, we're an incubator, but go beyond that to learn how to learn the business side of the arts. And so in 2015, all the businesses in our old building, which was right at the corner of Fulton and Damon, thus Fulton Street Collective, were given the heave-ho. And we looked at different spaces, but our identity was really focused in Westtown.
Okay.
And so we found this space, and it was just raw. Just a cement box.
Yeah.
But had a lot of character, a lot of potential. The rustic look was exactly what we were looking for. And so it was just a slow build. We built the lighting system, the sound system, scrounged together, at real estate sales for chairs and furniture. We got a piano, we got a drum set, we got a whole backline, and just incrementally we accumulated more stuff, but also more notoriety, and started more programming, more classes, and having more openings and more members.
All right. So in this space, you have events.
Yes.
You were telling me you had an event here. We can see the drum set right here.
Yeah. So what was spawned out of the jazz series was just just being a jazz club, if you will, but with a unique twist where a band will perform, or 2 bands will perform, and then we have an artist stationed on the stage left side of the room that will sketch and paint the band as they perform.
Nice.
And then in between sets, in between bands, and at the end of the show, they can sell the work that they created.
Okay.
and it's predominantly figure. And, it's funny. I'll look and see if there's any parents in the
audience.
I was like, you got to paint that guy.
Right, exactly.
His parents are going to buy it.
His mom is right there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Paint the drummer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Moms love their kids,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
yes, you have to get it.
But then we also have collaborative art openings. We team up with the Westtown Chamber of Commerce for First Fridays.
Okay.
And that's where we usually pick a theme, abstract or Faces of Fulton or something like that. And we'll have a curator. One of the members be a curate, or two or three members will curate, which is a tough gig. And our membership coordinator, Sarah Ditchman, will help out with that. And then we have the install, and then a Friday opening, and it's really a unique space to see music and to see art.
Okay, so tell people where we're located at.
We're at 1821 West Hubbard, the Hubbard Street Lofts, and we're on the third floor. We have our main gallery space on the third floor, as well as 8 studios, and then another 8 studios on the second floor.
Okay, so how many artists are in the collective? Because the collective just can't be one artist.
Right, we have 16 artists in residence, if you will, that they have studios that they have 24 access to do their work. And then we have about another 70 artists at large, basically, that are on our website and that we push and promote, and also have access to all the shows and access to showcase their work.
Okay. And you have studios here, correct?
Correct.
And how many studios?
16 total.
16 total.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm sure they go really fast when people are looking.
Yeah, I mean it's wavy. Sometimes when you're involved, we just ask for a month's notice if you're going to leave.
Yeah.
So we can fill it. And we'll post on Chicago Artist Resource and Chicago Artist Coalition and stuff like that. And the turnover rate is not very high, but when we do get a studio available, it usually goes pretty quick.
Okay. So tell me about how do all the 16 different artists work together, work independently on an art show?
Well, they work independently. It's more when we do a collaborative opening, we will pick a theme, and the curator will get submissions from everybody. And then the curator's like, this is going to fit, this is not going to fit. And so, there's some hard luck sometimes. My piece didn't get taken. But, that's life. And I mean, I think the key to the open, and we also do another series called 4 Walls, 4 Artists. So people will submit, the members will submit their work, and we'll either do a drawing or just pick, this is a good fit for this, and each artist gets 1 wall to showcase their work.
So now my question is, what type of art? I mean, obviously there's paintings, there's ceramic, there's photos.
All 3, yeah.
All 3.
And that's pretty much it.
Okay. Yeah. And you have different artists for all the
there's a
mediums.
Yeah, a multitude of different artists. Yeah.
Okay. Who's your favorite artist?
Oh, I like personally or professionally. I think that there's a gentleman named Alex Perrier who does some really interesting work, and he does a lot of the figure painting during performances. Okay. And Julian Camacho, he's across the hall at Platform Studios. He comes and does some figure work. Ryan Miller, he was a jazz trombonist for a million years and then migrated to visual art, and is an incredible abstract artist as well as a framer. Okay. And Melanie Brown, downtown Melanie Brown, teaches art and comes in and does accompanies the performances sometimes. She does paints, brushes, figure. So I'm not an art critic. Yeah. I'm more of like, how do we keep this thing going? And the object is we're an incubator to provide the platform for artists to make a living at doing their craft. Right. So tell me about like the business side of this. I think, and I get asked this a lot, and I get asked by people who want to start a collective, like, get ready to lose money, man, because it is not easy. I think that it's like selling snow cones in Alaska, as my dad used to say. Right. It is not easy. You got to be full on. I mean, in any art medium, if you're going to make your whether you're a dancer or an actor or a visual artist or a musician, you have to be fully committed. Yeah, you really do. And and that's kind of beating the drum over and over and over again. But it really. But sometimes people need to hear that. I think they do, and I think the lack of professionalism amongst some artists gives the medium a bad name. Yeah. And so what we try to do is teach the business side of the arts. You're not going to sell anything on your couch.
Right.
Get out there. And when we have openings, we need the artists here. And I say, you're on a used car lot. You're the used car salesman. Get on the lot, and if you see somebody looking at your work, walk up to them and say hello.
Yes.
Explain, this is my piece, and why you painted it, what it is, and what it means to you, and you might get a sale.
Yeah. It's interesting. I was at an art show probably last summer, and I'm walking around, and you could tell the artists that were engaged and the artists were not. Right. And the artist was engaged with their customers, right, or the potential customers and clients, made the sales.
Right.
The ones who did not engage.
You just said it perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like, I'm a photographer, so I'm always looking to take photos of anything.
Right.
Especially when I go on vacation. If I see a young lady walking down the street, I'll say, hey, I'm a photographer, can I take your photo? If I'm in New York, that's like a photographer's dream.
Right, sure.
Even in Chicago with the architecture. And the Loop and Michigan Avenue, it's just like, you could take photos forever.
Right.
But it's always interesting when you see someone and they're engaging with the client or the potential client about getting a photo shot or doing their artwork, selling their pieces. Like, they need to describe what they're painting and what the thought process behind what they did.
That's exactly right. I mean, you're not selling a bag of peanuts or a radio, or you're selling a commodity that's very personal.
Yeah.
And that's going to probably go up in somebody's home or somebody's office.
Exactly.
Or somebody's studio.
Because art is unique.
Yes, it is, and it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
So the more engaged you are, I mean, we've had some openings where the artists don't even show up. I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Yeah. So now you have to be here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to chain them to the tables.
No, but like if they don't show up, then you have another artist right there.
Yeah. So
if they don't show up by 6 o'clock, another artist will have their stuff up in your place by 6:15.
Right. Yeah. So it's just important because it is like very personal, and it's good to have that personal touch.
Yeah. So tell me about the space. Like, what type of events do you do here?
Across the board. I mean, going back to your question of how we make it work financially.
Yeah.
I think that any art gallery, we have live musical performances. We rent the gallery out for dance performances, for weddings, for corporate events, for recitals.
Okay.
The more diverse you can be with your space, the more opportunity you're going to have to keep money coming in and out. And you have to have these tentacles. You have art sales, you have membership, you have private events, you have ticket sales, you have, on and on, you have donations.
Right.
And you have, when you have all these tentacles out, it works. When you drop 1, 2, or 3, then you're like, we're going to be a little short this month.
Yeah.
So and you really have to stay. It's a ton of work. I can't describe how much work it is, but it's the right work.
And you're juggling 16 artists.
Yeah.
Or more than that.
More than that, yeah.
Just the artists that have residents, and you have artists that don't have residents here that participate in the collective itself.
Right, and that's why our social media manager and membership coordinator, Sarah Ditchman, really helps out with that as far as communicating what is going on, what's needed, and what the next event is, and so on and so forth.
What is your next event? Do you have any idea? Or should we give her a call?
I mean, well, you can go to, we have live jazz performances, anywhere from 2 to 4 live jazz performances a week.
Okay.
And you can just go to our website, fultonstreetcollective.com, to find out where and what is going on. Active on social media. Instagram is the Fulton Street Collective. Facebook, Fulton Street Collective. We have a TikTok. I need to hand that off to somebody younger than me.
Yeah. That's okay.
But the musical performances, the art openings, the classes that we have.
You have classes here.
Sometimes we'll do paint and sip classes and stuff like that. Also, we've done business classes on how to make a living in the arts.
Yeah.
Somebody who's done well in being a visual artist can talk to the members like, this is what you got to do.
What's interesting is I used to, and I still sell my photography as well, but what's interesting is a lot of people don't want to go to galleries. because galleries take so much profit
Right.
or percentage.
That's news to me.
But they,
Can I have their names, please?
but it's interesting because sometimes artists feel like, oh, they're taking too much money, too much money.
Well, I think they do. I mean, and they, if you're,
Yeah.
it depends upon a lot of things. I mean, we're not Soho, we're not
Right.
Superior Street. So we're not going to be selling the big pieces and doing a
Yeah.
50-50 split. So we're realistic where we do a 70-30 split. The artist will
Okay.
make 70%. We take 30%. There's no hanging fee. We
Yeah.
all do it collaboratively. But we also rely on the artists, like, get the word out.
Yeah.
This is your material. This is your
Right.
work. Let people know and be here.
Yes, and you have 5,000 friends on Facebook and
Yeah.
10,000 friends on Instagram.
Right.
Invite them
Even
to
if you just get 5%.
Right.
So.
Yeah, you have to get people to show up.
Right.
And-
It's a lot of work. I mean, I think that with the pandemic, that was an interesting time.
Yeah.
And we actually did okay. We live streamed all of our shows and asked for
okay.
donations. And that was busy work. And I got to hand it to one of our managers, Jose Valle, who created the platform for us to do live shows and created to live stream our shows and created the YouTube channel. And it was like we were the only ones in town for that 2020 and into 2021
Yeah.
doing live performances every night.
Really?
And live streaming and man, it was a lot of work. But it was because you didn't know if it was the end of the world.
Right.
You
Right.
didn't-
Exactly.
and I think when things started to open up, I think there was a misconception that people are just going to go out immediately and go nuts. And what the pandemic, I think, really taught people, or put a light on is, and I saw this in the mid-teens. You have these multi-million, billion-dollar companies whose sole purpose, their business model, is to keep you at home on your couch ordering stuff from them.
Yes.
And you saw that kind of rising through the teens, and then you saw people not going out as much. Then you
Yeah.
throw a pandemic on top of that, and you go like this.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if I wanted to, I could order a steak, a gin and tonic, and a movie right now. It'll be there in a half an hour.
Yeah.
And anything. You can order
Yes.
anything.
Yeah.
And so that was really scary because in 21, 22, people didn't go out. They realized they can do whatever they want at home and have parties at home and watch movies at home and get hammered at home or whatever they want to do.
Oh, yeah.
And so bars and restaurants really took a hit, and it's still not back to what it used to be. And,
Right.
and I think it's incrementally coming back, but it's really going to take a generation of young people say, hey man, I'm tired of my phone, I'm tired of my screens.
Yes.
I'd like to go out and engage with people.
I'm tired of my Xbox Monday through Friday, 9 to 5.
But I think it's incrementally coming back. It's going to take years for it's coming back.
It's interesting because I go to art galleries, I go to different places, different venues, and I would say a couple months ago, not a couple months ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, I went to a rooftop party on a Sunday. And you see the tickets go from 24 to 42. I waited too late, so I went. There was nobody there.
Oh.
And it's just like, how can you raise tickets from $24 to $44?
Right.
I mean, people were there, but it wasn't enough to raise ticket prices.
Right, yeah.
And it's just the assumption that, you're going to come because now the tickets are increased is kind of like false advertisement,
Yeah.
And you have to get people out of their house, out of their norm to come out again.
Yeah, and it's a challenge. I mean, we really have to hammer people over the head with social media.
Yeah.
This is what's going on, and come on out,
But I have to say in Chicago, the festivals, the neighborhood block clubs do bring people out. Mm-hmm. They just don't want to go beyond their area or beyond their...
Yeah, Chicagoans can be very neighborhood centric.
Yeah, yes.
This area, luckily we got in time in 2015. This area has really popped.
Yeah.
And in 20 plus years ago, you don't want to be near this area.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yep.
And it's really grown to have boutique galleries and event spaces and breweries, and it's a really lovely area of the city now.
Yeah, I actually just passed by a place on the way here. like a block down the street and it says coffee.
Yeah,
And I was just like, what? I'm like, I need to check out this coffee shop now. You know?
Yeah, and there's a lot of. I just hope that the businesses that have been here for decades are able to hang on. Because that's important. I mean, coming from somebody who's managing a company that got displaced,
Right.
The amount of stress that can cause and the expense that it can incur can be
Oh
overwhelming.
yeah, moving is expensive.
Just a tad.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the collective. So you have female, males, art collectives, and artists in this gallery.
Sure.
What are some of the works that they do?
I mean, like for an example, one of the artists, Tom Huddleston, he's here almost every day doing work in his studio.
Okay.
He has different projects. He'll get different commissions to do different things.
Yeah.
And so there's a guy like that. Then there's Sarah Ditchman. She's a ceramicist, and so she chooses to get ideas and build different items and put them outside her studio, because we do get a lot of foot traffic, and that's a sidebar here. So we do a lot of private events, like I said, and I'm very cautious and careful of who I rent the place out to, to make sure it doesn't turn into a ESPN night. And so the attendees, I give them access to the studio area so they can walk around, take a look at the artwork, and that's another way to get more eyes on the work and generate more purchases and more income. And so she has a whole shelf of all her work out there for people to see, and the smart artists, and that's another thing that we hammer home. If you have stuff in the gallery or in the hallway, get it labeled. It's got to have a label on it. I've had so many times where somebody will take a look at a piece and there's nothing on it.
They show you a photo and like, do you know who this is?
Like, no, I don't. And I want to say to the artist, you had somebody interested in your piece. And all you had to do is just put your
card down there.
Yeah,
put a card. Put a QR code.
A QR code, and then just have your Zelle or your Venmo, whatever, ready to roll. And the smart artists do that, and the artists who are making a living at the craft do that.
Yeah.
It's not a mystery.
Right.
It's not luck. It's professionalism.
We'll drop it off within 15 miles. You know, of here. You know.
Yeah, we've done deliveries all the time.
Yeah. So, you have any good stories you want to share?
I think what has been a big thrill to me is just to see young artists develop and hone their craft and make a living at it. We had, we have an internship program, and one of our first interns was a photographer named Rebecca Cypress, and to watch her really take advantage of the amenities that we provided and the opportunities, and she was starting to do photo shoots here and build this little photographic company. Yeah. And now she lives in New York and is doing great.
Oh my God!
And
nice.
so it's
that's a success story.
Yeah,
that's great.
So those are I mean, that is, and that's all her hard work.
Yeah.
We provide the tools. You take it from there, and we will guide you and help you and incubate you. But the bottom line is, it's your ass on the line. If you want to make a living at this, you got to bust your ass.
Do you know if she has a gallery in New York?
She's an independent photographer.
Independent photographer? Yeah. Because I'll be going to New York in a couple weeks.
Look her up and tell her I said hello.
I will definitely do that. Yeah, I will try my best.
Sure. But on the flip side of that coin, also to see the young musicians that come in, the young jazz musicians.
Yeah.
And that's the platform that I really wanted to stick to is, if you're a college musician and you're 20, well, where are you going to play?
Right.
Your house. And so we keep all of our performances all ages, and we have bands where guys are in the program at Northwestern or DePaul.
Okay.
And to watch these young musicians like the Jimmy Faracis, the Armin Sangalangs, Kabir Dalawaris, to come here when they were babies, and now be playing Green Mill or Space or Jazz Showcase. That's a big thrill.
They play all over.
Yeah. And so, but I wouldn't say they got their start here, but I gave them an opportunity to hone their craft here.
Yeah. And present their music to people.
Yeah. And it's a lot different to play in front of your class or on campus, and then playing in a club or a gallery where people are on top of you. And
they're not paying attention. They listen to the music.
Yeah.
They're talking to their friends.
And you got to not just play the notes,
right?
But present a performance and engage with them. And I've seen some of the younger ones, come in and just play the music. Like, this looks like torture to you, man.
Yeah.
Talk to the audience.
Yeah.
You are the performer. They're here to not only see you play, but to hear what you have to say.
Right, exactly. It's interesting. I go to a couple of jazz and blues clubs here in Chicago. And what's the most interesting thing about it is I'll go with friends. I'll go with some of my longtime friends that bring people in town to the good music. And it's interesting because we'll have a beer, we'll talk, and then once the good music or note hits, this is like, hold on for a moment, I want to listen to this.
Right.
It's just like, hold on, this is good,
I mean, that was the contrast where Green Mill is an amazing club. It's also an amazing place to have a drink.
Yeah.
And, but it gets super rowdy.
Yes.
And so the owner wants, rightfully so, the crowd to be quiet during the performance. But there's this balance where there's the desire to have a frat party with all the drinking.
Right.
And the amount of drinking, and then having those people treat the place like a museum, and that creates a lot of tension.
Yeah.
And that's why the managers and the staff have to literally shush people.
Yeah.
And I wanted a place where as soon as you walk in, you don't want to talk. You want to look at the artwork, you want to listen to the music. And then at the end of the performance, then you talk and engage.
Yeah. It's interesting because I used to go to the Green Mill sometimes at 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'll just have a beer or sit there or have a cocktail because it's like, okay, I need to think. Mm-hmm. And I do my best thinking outside of my house.
Sure. Yeah.
On the way here, I know I was coming here, I was listening to a podcast, and it was interesting because all of a sudden I started making notes.
Right.
Hey Siri, can you make a note of this?
Yeah,
hey, can you make a note of this? It's like,
Sure.
because that's where I do my best thinking is outside of my house and going places or listening to good music or listening to things that just kind of brings things to your idea.
Well, I mean, I've been living in Chicago for 30 years, and this is not to sound like the old curmudgeon, but you went out every night.
Yeah.
And there was always something to do. It's -10. Who cares?
Right.
Put on a jacket and go.
Exactly.
And now I think there's so many challenges to having a live entertainment entity, no matter if you're a dance company or a gallery or a bar that has live music. The news media just catastrophizes the weather.
Yes.
It's going to.
Well, that's 100% of their profit. Is the weather.
Just let's go. You got to stay home tonight because it's snowing. Not telling the audience whether you can get a jacket or boots. And people do it every day.
This is Chicago.
Yeah.
We go.
Cold.
It gets cold.
And, and I don't think they realize that there are artists, that there are actors, that there are bartenders and musicians and maitre d's and waiters that depend on people going out.
Right.
And when you scare people because it's going to rain, it just sucks sometimes.
But you hold events here in the winter all year round.
All year round, yeah.
Okay.
Usually I take a break from live musical performances from mid-late December to mid-late February just to recharge the battery.
Okay.
Also, people aren't really going out at that time, and it's good to have more of and I'll shut it down the week before and the week after the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Around Labor Day, around Memorial Day, just to give it more of a heartbeat and not be throwing stuff down people's throat every night of the week.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to be wrapping this up soon, and I want people to know that please like and subscribe to All About Nothing podcast. And I got a question for you to wrap this up. If you had a piece of advice to give to young artists and to pass it along, what would that advice be?
Be engaged with the community, whether you're a musician or an artist or a dancer or an actor. I've seen so many people involved in the arts get work in the arts from frame of reference, from knowing someone in the community. And you're not going to make it on your couch or in your room or in your studio. Get out, meet people, engage. You are selling yourself.
Yes.
And if nobody knows who you are, you ain't going to sell yourself.
I used to, my old boss always told me, collect people's cards.
Yes.
This is in the day where everybody had cards.
Right.
Collect people's cards. Because that's your Rolodex.
Yeah.
So when you want to do something, or you start your own business. Now you have a Rolodex of 150 people you could send out to.
Right.
Maybe 150 people are not going to show up, but 50 will because they know you.
Right. And also get a website. You know, go on create your own website. Just have a frame of reference. You know, build up that social media, build up your website, and engage. Get out there and do the grunt work to meet people. And I guarantee you, it will serve you well.
Yeah, okay. So we're going to wrap this up. We're going to actually walk around, take some video footage of different artists and artwork and go from there.
Sounds like a plan.
Thank you very much for coming on All About
Thank
Nothing
you. Absolutely.
podcast, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you very much for having me.
No problem.